Are you planning a future cruise and wondering what the protocols are going to be like when cruising resumes again? Well, what I'm going to be doing today is going to be some very interesting information that has to do with Carnival Corporation's Costa Cruises. Now, Costa Cruises is sailing in Europe and has actually just released their protocols recently. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over what their protocols are because they are accepted by the EU, and there is a good chance that as long as things continue along the same way, that these will be protocols that are accepted for cruises sailing in North America by the CDC. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website and blog lifewellcruise.com. And before I get into that information for you, I did want to mention that if you do like this video, if you find it helpful or enjoyable in any way, then please do give it a thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And of course, please consider sharing and subscribing to the channel. So let's get started on that information now. Now, for your own information, all of these protocols can actually be found on the Costa website, but I will include a link to this down below in the description. So a lot of this information is very similar to the MSC protocols, but things are advancing and there are some small changes. So I do want to point those out in the video. So let's get started. I divided it up into 9 points. The first thing is embarkation. So embarkation is going to run a little bit differently than we had been used to before. So there definitely is going to be the online check-in as we have had, but now you can also print out your tickets, do everything within a 72-hour period before your cruise. That's going to eliminate actually doing any of that onboard check-in when you get to the cruise port terminal. As well, the embarkation time is going to be staggered. So whereas in the past, I always gave the advice as to go as early as possible to make the most of the day, now you are going to actually have a time to arrive, and you're going to have to pretty much be punctual and stick to that time. That's to allow for social distancing. So really to kind of keep those safety protocols throughout. Finally, there's also going to be a health screening. Now, while during your 72-hour before your cruise, you are going to fill out a preliminary health certification. They are going to have a health screening as well, and that's just going to include taking your body temperature and as well giving you a rapid COVID test, and that is the swab kind. The second protocol is the use of technology on board the Costa ships. So they're going to have kind of like an app. It's called My Costa. And really what it's going to be is once you're on board, you're going to be able to use your smartphone if you have one, and you're going to be able to look up your daily activities. You're also going to be able to have a QR code to see the menu and different things like that. And you can even order off your phone. However, you could also order from the bar directly, but there is going to be some signage so that you follow those safety protocols. Now, if you don't have a smartphone or you don't want to travel using your smartphone, not to worry. They do say there is going to be signage. There is going to be some signage that changes, like interactive type signage that is going to give you instructions and information. And as well, there'll be the TV in your stateroom that is going to give you that information. And you are going to also have a personalized phone line where you could call for information as well. Number three has to do with safety on board and really the public areas. So just like on land, we are going to be very focused on social distancing, at least at the beginning. So cruise lines are going to be sailing with a reduced capacity. Now, Costa doesn't point out what the amount will be. However, we have seen with other cruise lines that they have talked about a number around 70%, and MSC actually had confirmed that. So there will be social distancing based on the fact that there are much less people on the ship. As well, masks will be required in the same way as on land. So really in public areas. Hand sanitizers will be available everywhere, especially in the public areas. And the crew will also be wearing protective equipment, so such as masks. Number four has to do with how meals are served. And basically there won't be quite that much that's changed, except the fact that tables will be very spread apart. So again, to allow social distancing and that safety. And as well, they are going to ask that, at least at the very beginning, that people are sitting with their own party. And that's also how they're going to accommodate really that safety protocol. We can order from the QR code, but of course we can also order directly from a waiter along with a menu. But the QR codes are going to be there so that they can, well, lessen that personal interaction. Now, I don't know if that's always good or bad. Let me know what you think of that, please, in the comments below. Number 5 has to do with entertainment. Now, I know a lot of people had questions about, will the entertainment continue on cruise ships? So yes, it will. I know that I'm really relieved to hear that. But basically what they're going to be doing is they are going to be showing the same show several times to make sure that everybody is able to see it. But of course, there are going to be less people in the theater or in lounges. The casino is going to be open, so that is good. But again, reduce the amount of people that are in the casino or in different areas. And that's really, again, to accommodate social distancing. So there will be social distancing even within the casino, within the spa. You can still go to the spa, you can still go to the swimming pool, but there are a few rules to follow. Now, I did have a little sign here, and I'll draw your attention to the question of this video, which is, what protocols do you like best? Which do you like least? There may be some protocols that are even deal breakers for you or for some other people, but I do think that these things are here for the very beginning and they're not going to last. But nevertheless, I really do want to hear what you think. So let me know, please, in the comments below. Number 6, if you have kids, this is for you. The Kids Club will be going on. It will be clean. It will be sanitized. I know when I actually cruised when my kids were young, I loved the Kids Club. My kids loved the Kids Club. So I think this is really important for a family vacation. So the Kids Club will go on. You will have to reserve. So that's very important. And at the same time, they may have to reduce the amount of children that are able to be in the Kids Club at the same time. And they will be sanitizing regularly. I feel like number 7 should come with a warning, because this is for some people a deal breaker. And this has to do with shore excursions on Costa, just like on MSC. For the time being, everybody who wants to get off the ship at a cruise port is going to have to take a cruise line excursion. And the reason for that is because this way they can kind of keep that safety bubble that they have on the ship for the crew and for the guests. They can keep that out on land as well. But some interesting points about this is they do point out these are going to be smaller groups, so this is good. Any buses that you're on are going to be sanitized after each excursion. So that, of course, is something very good. The drivers, the tour guides are all going to be wearing protective equipment. So these are all ways that at least we can start cruising again and we can head into ports and we can be safer, the communities can be safer, and the guests and crew can be safer. Again, I don't think this is going to continue for very long because, believe me, this is not something that a lot of communities, from what I understand, I hear there are some talks in the Caribbean about this, communities are not loving the idea of cruise-only excursions to certain places because, of course, they don't want the areas in their own islands to be used only for cruisers. So there is some controversy about that, but it is a way for cruising and traveling to resume safely. So personally, I think it is a good thing, but I would like to hear what you have to say on it. Is it a deal breaker? Let me know, please, in the comments below. Virus killing nebulizers. Now that's something I never thought I would be saying in relation to cruising, but that is number 8, and that has to do with sanitation and disinfection. And yes, they are talking about sanitation, disinfection at another level where they're actually killing viruses, and they're killing viruses in the cabins with the new technology they're using to clean and in the public areas as well. They are also going to be having new high-efficiency air filters for air circulation. So we've been talking about this since really March and the cruise line shutdown happened. But this is, I think, a very, very good thing for the cruise lines. Number 9, this has to do with the medical interventions on board. So now the medical staff, that means the doctors and all of the other medical staff on board, are trained to deal with any interventions they need to make as it has to do with COVID-19. So they're very prepared now to deal with this on board the cruise ship. Crew members as well are going to be monitoring their health daily, including bodily temperature checks. And the crew as a whole are trained to intervene in medical situations and really any situation that would have to do with this virus. In other words, they are well prepared to deal with anything that can happen on board, and they really are doing everything they can to maintain a safe environment. So what do you think of the protocols, and do you think that these are likely to happen in North America when cruises do finally start sailing again? Now, and also please do answer the question as to what do you like best or least of the new protocols. Now, if you did find this video helpful or informative in any way, then please do give it a like or share it with your friends. I really do appreciate it. And of course, please consider subscribing to the channel. Now, if you'd like to know what needs to happen for cruises to resume, please do watch this video next. Thanks so much for watching, and happy future cruising.